Control.
Chief Baxter, control ring. Mr. Robson there?
Yes, sir. Mr. Robson, sir?
Yes.
Chief Baxter, control ring, sir.
Right.
Yes, Baxter, what is it?
Has Mr. Lutchins arrived there yet, sir?
Yes, why?
He have told you how the men feel, sir.
Now listen, Baxter, I'm in charge of this outfit, not Ben Lutchins. You take your orders from me, not him.
Yes, sir. But there's something else.
What else?
Something seems to have gone inside the pipeline.
Inside the pipe.
Now, we've all heard it.
Heard what?
Well, this sound. First I thought it was something to do with the pumps, but it isn't. It's a peculiar sound. Sort of regular thumping, pulsating. Like a heartbeat.
That's the noise I heard on the beach.
What is it, Doctor?
I don't know. We've got to find out. Come on, Jamie. Oh, Victoria, no. Not you.
Oh, why not?
I think it'd be better if you stay back in the bunk room. Hmm? Please.
All right.
Oh, Victoria.
Yes?
Victoria reluctantly makes her way back towards the bunk room, but as soon as the Doctor and Jamie are out of sight, she sets off in the opposite direction.
Mr. Robson?
Yes, Harris, where are your figures?
Oh, well, I haven't got them, sir. I sent my wife for them, but she's not well. I wondered if I could go along...
No, I would not. You tell her to call a doctor, not pester you.
But Dr. Patterson is still out at Rig D, sir.
Well, tell her to get one in from outside.
But you've still got the compound on full emergency alert, remember?
All right. But make it quick.
Not far away, in a storeroom containing oxygen cylinders, someone wearing white gloves and a gas mask is tampering with the valves, allowing the contents to leak away. The saboteur stops an alarm when he hears someone outside. Victoria is making her way cautiously along the corridor when she hears someone approaching. Panicking, she tries the nearest door and ducks inside. Inside the storeroom, the oxygen-rich atmosphere is stifling. Victoria moves further into the room, shutting off the open valves. A small sound behind her causes her to spin round in alarm. Someone is in the room with her. A tall, thin, gas mask figure shoves past her and makes his escape. The door closes and Victoria hears the sound of a key turning in the lock. Dashing to the door, she tries the handle. Resigned to her fate, Victoria unpins her hair once more and sets to work on the lock. Out in the corridor, the saboteur activates the emergency ventilator control, then slips away. An electronic hum rises in the oxygen store, and Victoria is alarmed to see a metal grill in the wall swing open. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Jamie creep past the control hall and into the room next door. The room is dominated by a large cylindrical machine, near to which an airlock leads to a lift platform above a shaft disappearing deep below the complex. Jamie eyes the machine with suspicion.
What's that thing supposed to do? It's an impeller, Jamie. It pumps gas from the main pipeline out at sea. Come on.
The Doctor leads Jamie through a door into the next room, a vast space housing a complex arrangement of pipes and pressure gauges. There is a raised observation platform at one end of the room.
It's just a pipeline, man. Yes, they all are. It's a continuation of the pipe that we found on the beach. That bit there, you can see inside the pipe. Yes, it's transparent for checking condensation and anything else that might get inside.
Victoria has had no success with her hairpin and remains locked in the oxygen store.
Hello? Is anybody there? Oh, come on.
Victoria suddenly becomes aware of a strange, bubbling, popping noise coming from the far side of the room. As she turns, a mass of foam surges from the ventilator grill. Terrified, she backs away as she catches sight of something moving in the foam. Back in the pipeline room, the Doctor has his stethoscope pressed to the main gas pipe.
There it is again, Jimmy. Can you hear it? Hey, what is it? Your guess is as good as mine. There's something inside there.
Doctor!
Victoria, come on!
The Doctor and Jamie dash out into the corridor. Victoria's screams can be heard all over the refinery compound, echoing along pipelines and around the metal corridors, making it difficult to pinpoint her location.
Doctor!
Increasingly frantic, Victoria presses back against the door as the seething foam continues to pour through the grill.
Gas!
They force open the oxygen store door and pull Victoria out into the safety of the corridor. Robson, Van Lutyens and the chief engineer arrive to investigate the disturbance.
What happened? Deep breaths. Take deep breaths. What's going on here? Who let you three out of the cabin?
Robson in here, gas.
Take it then. Find out what it is.
What a horrible creature!
Creature?
Didn't you see? I was in there. Came straight towards me, covered with seaweed and foam and this horrible hissing sound. And then I screamed.
All right, Victoria. All right. Creature, the girl's hysterical. Mr. Robson. They're empty. The seals are broken.
The engineer indicates the oxygen cylinders.
Why were you in there?
I was hiding. I heard someone coming, so I went in.
This door is always kept locked. You broke in. You emptied those cylinders, didn't you?
Oh, no. It was open and someone locked it behind me.
She's telling the truth. The door was locked from the outside.
Yes, it was locked. This room wasn't full of oxygen when we came in here. Or another gas of a toxic composition.
All right, if it was a poison gas, where did it come from?
What about up there? Ventilator. Oh, good. Did you open the ventilator?
No, it opened by itself.
Then whoever locked you in must have opened it. How?
Van Lutyens points to the ventilator control.
From here?
Harris returns to his quarters to find his wife in a confused state.
What is it, love?
I don't know. I feel so dazed. And my hand.
Let me see. Looks all right. What happened?
I don't remember.
You said you were stung or something.
Did I? I don't. Oh, yes, it must have been. I went to get the file you asked for, put my hand inside, and then it was seaweed.
All right, my love. Lie still and rest. Shall I get you some food? A glass of milk or something?
Darling, you couldn't even boil an egg.
You shouldn't have married a scientist then. Maggie.
Darling.
Maggie.
Out on the patio, the clump of seaweed is now surrounded by a spreading mass of foam, which pops and hisses as the weed twitches and heaves. Meanwhile, Robson has been summoned to the impeller room.
So what's the panic? It's the pump, sir. The revs have dropped.
Pump is slowing down?
Yes, she's not holding steady even now. I don't understand it. Well, don't stand there thinking about it, man. Do a complete check.
Excuse me, may I say something? When I was in the pipe room a short while ago, I'm sure I heard a movement coming from inside the pipes.
What kind of movement?
Well, the same as I heard on the beach, a sort of thumping sound.
But that's what they heard out at the rigs.
What you heard and what everybody else heard was a mechanical fault somewhere along the line.
Then why did they hear it out at the rigs?
Because, my friend, underneath this impeller shaft is a vast steel gasometer buried in the earth. It acts like an echo chamber. It'll make the sound of a pin dropping sound like that of a thunderclap. It travels along the pipe.
Oh, this wasn't a mechanical sound.
All right, then suppose there is something in the pipe. A fish or something. What do you expect me to do about it?
You turn off the gas flow, at least until you've had a chance to investigate.
That's out of the question.
But Mr. Robson, if there is something in the pipeline...
We do not turn off the flow, and that is final.
Mr. Robson, sir.
Yes.
Down another half.
Must be a mechanical fault. Get a couple of men and check, man, check.
If you allow the pressure to build up in the pipeline, you'll blow the whole rig sky high.
Blow us with it.
All because you're too stubborn to turn off the gas.
All right, what do you think it is? One of these creatures the hysterical girl thought she saw?
Well, who knows?
Next door in the control hall, Jamie and Victoria are learning more about the refinery from Price.
You mean to say this place supplies all the gas for the whole of the south of England?
And the whole of Wales.
What are all those lights for?
Well, that's a plan of the entire compound, and each of those lights represents a remote-controlled camera that I can switch through to this screen if I want to look at any particular area. Like this. You see it?
Oh, well, where are all these rigs people talk about?
Well, they're out at sea, of course. But that plan over there shows you the relative position of all the rigs under our command.
What's the big one in the middle?
Well, that's the central control rig complex, the sort of nerve center of the whole thing. The other rigs feeds her with gas, and she in turn pumps it to us via the main pipeline, see?
How awful to have to live out at sea. And lonely.
Oh, I don't know. Mr. Robson once spent 4 years on one of the early rigs without ever going ashore.
Aye, that would account for quite a lot.
Hey, you! Come in here and give a hand.
Doesn't that man ever call anyone by their name?
Well, it probably means trouble if he does. No, he's all right, is Robson. Certainly knows all there is to know about rigs. Anyway.
Price! Has Dr. Patterson returned from Rig D yet?
No, sir.
Where's your friend, the doctor?
In there.
Doctor! Doctor, I need your help. It's my wife. She's very ill.
Well, I'm not sure that
You must come.
He will not go with you.
This is an emergency. It's my wife.
These people are in my custody until I decide what to do with them.
But my wife!
Don't bring your domestic affairs into the refinery, Harris. That goes for the rest of you.
Mr. Robson, my wife is ill. If anything happens to her, I'll...
All right. 1 hour.
Thank you. Doctor, please, this way.
Feeling somewhat better, Maggie Harris leaves the study. But before she can return to the bedroom, she's interrupted by someone at the front door. Two almost comical figures are standing on the doorstep.
Mrs. Harris.
Yes?
We are maintenance controllers, madam. I wonder if we might have a few words with your husband.
Oh, my husband isn't here. He's at the compound.
Oh, dear, that does make it rather difficult.
The speaker, a short, fat man, glances at his tall, thin colleague.
We've come to carry out an inspection.
Inspection?
In the kitchen, your husband didn't tell you?
No. Couldn't it wait until another day? I'm not feeling very well.
I'm sorry, madam. It has to be carried out without delay. Chief Robson's instructions.
That man never stops giving instructions, does he? Oh, I suppose you'd better come in then.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Oak, and this is my colleague, Mr. Quill.
Yes, well, please be quick. I'm really not very well.
Of course, madam. Now, don't you worry about us, Mrs. Harris. You won't even know that we are here, will she? The bag, Mr. Quill.
Mr. Van Lutchens.
What is it?
The feed line from control rigs. There's an excessive pressure build-up in the pipeline.
She's almost up to capacity.
She'll blow herself wide open.
So there's a build-up in the pressure coming in from the rigs. And a drop in the pressure in the flow going out to the receiving stations.
There must be something interfering with the impeller itself.
As the implications sink in, Robson receives more bad news in the control hall.
Mr. Robson, sir?
Yes?
Message from control rig, sir. They say there's a pressure build-up in their feed line to us.
Right, ask them how much, will you?
Yes, sir.
Almost up to danger level, Mr. Robson. Shall I give the order to turn off the gas?
You will not, Mr. Van Lutchens.
There'll be an explosion any minute.
There will not be an explosion.
There must be if you don't turn off the gas.
Open release valve section D, full pressure, will you?
Oh, what are you doing, man? It's too late for that. You can't possibly release enough gas in time.
You want to bet, Mr. Van Lutchens?